So now I'd like to welcome Colonel James Manni, Superintendent of the Rhode Island State Police and Director of Public Safety. He's going to discuss the role of the State Police in election security, response planning, and their coordination with state agencies and local cities and towns. Thank you. Turns out I have a chair over here.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The State Police and the Department of Public Safety has been working on an election security plan for several months now. Actually, the formal plan and final plan that we have, we'll be briefing the governor tomorrow. She's been part of briefings before, but we have the final plan, which will be addressed to her tomorrow afternoon. We've been working very closely with the FBI, Boston Field Office, and Providence Resident Office, the Secretary of State's Office, the Rhode Island Attorney General, Rhode Island National Guard. We have three distinct plans: a pre-election, election day, and post-election plan. Each one's different, and some will require very unique resources. So what have we done to date to prepare us for the election on November 3rd? We've been done a very robust outreach program to all our stakeholders: the mayors, the town managers, the clerks, who are critical in the process of making this election successful. I learned that as my town manager days. And the police chiefs as well. What are some of the highlights of the areas that we're addressing? And they're not all-inclusive, but just some of the things we've been working on. The ballot boxes. There's 39 of them across the state of Rhode Island. They're all under video surveillance, and we have a plan in place for that. The transportation of the mail-in ballots. The state police, every day in the afternoon, sends a mock cruiser with troopers to Corliss Street, the main post office here in the state of Rhode Island, and we transport those ballots to the Board of Elections. The polling place. We have a plan with the municipal leaders and the municipal police chiefs on what can be expected, and we've offered any assistance if anything should go awry on that day. Cyber intrusions. I'll let the FBI address that specifically, but that is one area. Rhode Island has the Joint Cyber Task Force, which is prepared for any and all incidents that could occur in the state of Rhode Island. The Fusion Center, which is, Madam Secretary addressed, that is a tremendous resource to the state of Rhode Island. It's a joint effort by the FBI and the state police. Every state has one. All information flows in, and all information flows out, is disseminated to any stakeholder that needs it. So what will the state police be doing? We're planning for all various scenarios. Isolated, widespread, unknown duration, could go on for days, weeks, or months, hopefully not. Once again, the Fusion Center is working very closely with the FBI. We've been in contact. The agent in charge, who's here today, Joe Bonavalento, he and I have been, we've been in pretty constant contact over the past few months for various issues. We've communicated with our stakeholders, and we've been in communication with the Rhode Island National Guard in the event we need them. The Emergency Operations Center, operated by Rhode Island Emergency Management, will be operational on October 27th, which is a day before the FBI is opening their command post out of Boston the next day. In closing, I will say this. We've given this a lot of thought. I'm very confident that Rhode Island has a thorough, comprehensive security plan. And I'm very confident we're prepared for any scenario that we might encounter over the next days, weeks, or months. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Colonel, what goes into the operations center? What do you, who occupies it, what different agencies, and how do you expect to be able to respond?
So the Emergency Operations Center out of Rhode Island Emergency Management is a multi-use center that we use for snowstorms, blizzards, major planned events such as the election, and the unplanned events which could occur, which occurred here in Rhode Island, where we had some civil disturbances in early June. So that is a valued resource that is operational with municipal leaders, state leaders, and federal officials.
Has that been done before for an election?
It has been done before to a limited extent. I will say this, we all watch the news, we all know this is a very contentious election, and that we've really increased the stakeholders that will be sitting there with us, and it will be manned 24/7 once it's operational.
When you talk about election day itself and then after, obviously election day we're thinking about the in-person voting, but after, are you thinking about protesting, civil unrest? What would the after potentially look like?
So that's a really good question, and I think that is probably one of the focus points of the security plan. Once again, we all watch the news. We see what's going on across the United States, a very contentious election, and we are prepared for whatever the outcome is, whether it's the Republican candidate or the Democratic candidate. One thing's certain, there will be distinct challenges, and different groups might be incited by whoever gets elected, but we're prepared for all of that.
Have you received any intelligence suggesting there will be protests specifically in and around the election and related to Election Day?
Not specifically to the election, but we receive intelligence sometimes hourly or daily on what would occur in and around the area. As you have already noticed, Rhode Island's had a share of protests, and Providence has kind of been the lightning rod for that in the past few months. So we work very closely with the Providence Police Department and their administration in the event something does occur in this area.
You mentioned the National Guard. Are they going to be just on standby, or will they be activated for Election Day?
So the National Guard will, there are distinct rules and policies and procedures that they have regarding elections. They are not allowed, the U.S. military is not allowed to, at polling places and so forth, they have to stay separate from the election. There's federal law to support that. But the National Guard has been a force multiplier in the state for guarding critical infrastructure, guarding this hill with all our state buildings. So that is what our plan is with General Callahan and the Rhode Island National Guard, to be used as that force multiplier if our limited amount of resources are taxed.